Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything on all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. For the first time in the history of democracy in Nigeria, a major presidential candidate has broken a record on transparency and accountability by making open how every penny that he spent and he got for the presidential election in Nigeria. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, the phenomenon, has done it again. He has rendered account of every penny that he got and spent for the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. And one of the things that I found very strange was a journalist who had the temerity to ask Peter Obi that why is he doing it now? Why is he doing it now? And this is a journalist who knew that election is not over until the Supreme Court rule. The Supreme Court only barely ruled in Peter Obi's election last year. And before you know it, we enter the Christmas season. And we're just in the early February, and he's asking Peter Obi, why is he giving the account now? As if he knew any candidate that had ever given account of his presidency, how he got money and spent it before. As I speak to you, that journalist in that audience has not asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu why he has not rendered account of the money he spent or that was spent for his presidential election. Who contributed and how much did he generate and the source of all the funding that he got. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not bothered to do that, and he will not do it. That same journalist had not asked why Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the PDP, had not rendered account of every penny that he got to run the campaign. Of course, Peter Obi did crowdfunding for Peter Obi, because we know that Peter Obi was not a money bag to be able to be competitive enough in a highly expensive presidential election in Nigeria. They did crowdfunding for him. They raised over 500 million. That is remarkable. It was remarkable. It shows the confidence ordinary Nigerians have in Peter Obi. And by rendering his account, the account of how he spent the pennies, every money that entered that presidential election, he has once again showed indeed that he is the one that deserved and was deservedly elected to be the president of this country. But the result of his election was rigged. He was rigged out. But what he has done is unprecedented. He brought out Aisha Yusuf, a woman of impeccable character, who headed the crowdfunding, to give account of every penny. This is unprecedented in the history of Nigeria. And this is in line with the Electoral Act, in line with the Constitution. But only Peter Obi have been able to effect this demand of the law. Can you imagine that despite this, some people are still saying, why is he doing it now? He's doing it because Peter Obi is a man who believes in transparency and accountability. as governor of Anambra State. He was the only governor when he was living. He made public the balance sheet of the state, how much he was living, asset and liability of the state. And he left more asset. He left the state more liquid than any governor in the history of Nigeria. And he has demonstrated it by what he has just done, by making public every penny that entered his hands. Don't forget that Peter Obi spent more of his money than even the money that people donated. He spent more of his money, his own personal money. And the Aisha Yusufi confirmed it from the figure that came from Peter Obi himself. Before we talk about the money that came from other Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians. The last time I checked, there was crowdfunding for Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. Did he give anybody account of that campaign? In 2019, when he contested again, has he given any account of the funding for that campaign? Nigeria should be grateful to have somebody like Peter Obi presenting himself to serve. Somebody ready to serve with capacity, with efficiency, with transparency, and with accountability. And that is what he has done after the election to demonstrate. And his campaign is different from the Labour Party. You can see they brought out the people that handle the finances. They talk about it. How every penny, how it was allocated to ensure transparency and accountability. There was all this exaggeration that Peter Obi got $150 million. And Peter Obi had just said that they didn't get up to 1% of that kind of amount from diaspora. Now, if you're a diaspora, you think that you donated more than that, please bring your evidence. Let us see it. If you think you donated more money than what was presented, because Peter Obi is saying it's not more than 1% of that amount people will be bandied about. So Peter Obi has shown capacity and transparency and accountability. And one good thing about the revelation by Peter Obi is that he didn't generate as much money as you can get from the looting campaigns of the PDP and APC. But he achieved much result from the letter that was in his hand, but put in his hand by the Nigerian people. He achieved result. He won the election, but for the rigging. He won more states than any other presidential candidate. Let us face the fact. Atiku Abubakar won about 8 states, about 8 or so states. Other 8 or 9 states. Atiku Abubakar didn't win much, and even the incumbent APC didn't win more states than Peter Obi. Peter Obi won more states than Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar. If only the Peter Obi's result in Benue and Rivers State was truly allocated to him, as was independently verified that Peter Obi won those 2 states, but they allocated it to Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner. But Peter Obi presented proof at the appeal court, at the Supreme Court, to show that he won that election. But the 2 courts apparently didn't have time to do justice. Look at it. Look at how much Peter Obi got through the contribution of Nigerians. And Nigerians voted overwhelmingly for him. If not for the so-called failure in transmission of the result on February 25. That failure to transmit the results by the INEC was what put Nigeria where it is today. That failure, that technical glitch that was obviously created by the INEC to deny Nigerians the true result of that election would have proved clearly that P2B won the election with small amount of money, because it's not about the money. It is the person who has the love of the people, the love of Nigerian people. Nigerian people wanted change and they voted for change. That was what happened. He won more states. It was the first time, you can say, an independent person who is not a money bag, who is not backed by the state. He won more states, winning in Lagos, Federal Capital Territory Abuja. He had a pan-Nigerian mandate than any other candidate, and they know it. That's why they have been ferociously attacking him even after the election. Now he has taken the shine again from them by showing them what to do. Even INEC ought to compel candidates and political parties to give account of the election. But INEC don't give a damn, because they are not even interested in transparency and accountability. Because if they were, they wouldn't have allowed the thing that happened on February 25 during that election to happen. So he has shown that with little resources, if you have the support of Nigerians, you could become president of Nigeria. Peter Obi has done what no other candidate has done. Peter Obi has shown that he's a man of impeccable character. He's a man of transparency and accountability. And if you look at this, before the election, all the opinion polls, both the ones done by the BBC, the CNN, all major opinion polls in Nigeria gave it to Peter Obi, that he is the one to win the election. And he was on the verge of doing that before those who are against progress in Nigeria scuttled the whole thing. And the Nigerian people allowed them to get away with it. So I'm so excited of what Peter Obi has done. I celebrate him. The world should celebrate Peter Obi. He is showing indeed that a new Nigeria is possible. Now the onus is now on former President Buhari to give account of all the monies that was spent in his own election. And for Tinubu, who is the one in charge right now, to give account of the funding of his campaign. Or was he so rich that they don't have to give account for his own? Even in America, Donald Trump, a billionaire, they give account of his campaign. So Tinubu cannot be too rich that he will fund his campaign alone. He should tell us how he got the money and who are those that contributed, how much was generated and all that, and how it was spent in the spirit of transparency. Atiku Abubakar should do the same thing. I'm sure they are not going to do anything. Atiku and Tinubu and Kwankwaso, they are not going to follow Peter Obi's example, because Peter Obi has indeed shown that a new Nigeria is possible. And I can tell you for free that if truly Nigerians are tired of this kind of Nigeria they are living in, where 1,000 naira is exchanging, 1,500 naira is exchanging for $1, where 2,000 naira is exchanging for £1, and nobody knows what will be the rate before the end of this year, or even before the middle of this year. If they are tired of it, this Nigeria, in which people are dying of hunger and starvation, they should look no further than a new Nigeria to be led by Peter Obi. And he has shown it by his principle of transparency and accountability. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.